Well, guys, we gotta talk about Kash Patel. Donald Trump's pick for FBI director when he takes office. If you don't know, this guy is, like, there's never been a man with Trump's dick deeper down his throat. And I know, you might be saying, but Elon, no. This guy. If Trump told this guy to take off his clothes and they're fucking right now and then, he would do it. He would be like, yes, sir, and take his clothes off and bend over and spread those cheeks for Donald Trump to go to town. I am not joking. He would do that shit. And if you guys don't believe me, well, obviously he's come out and said that as director of the FBI will be pursuing anyone in the media who speaks out against Trump. Just overtly. He just outright said, and yeah, if you think that if you're in the media and you're scared that we're going to come after you when we're in power, then you should be, because we are. He outright said that after the announcement of his appointment. I believe those were word for word what he said. Like, you should be scared if you're part of the media and afraid that we're going to crack down on people criticizing Trump. So yeah. Apparently, he's going to try to make it illegal to criticize Trump during Trump's presidency, or maybe even permanently. So that's pretty wild. Yeah, he looks absolutely fucking high here, by the way. Yeah, look at his eyes. Holy shit. Anyway, if you're wondering how deep down his throat Trump's dick is, well, let me show you. He wrote this. This is a real book for children that he wrote and was illustrated by Laura Vincent. It's called The Plot Against the King. And it is a children's book made by our future FBI director about Trump being the king and how being against Trump is like literally plotting regicide because they consider him king-like. Wow, this is not subtle at all. I like their Hillary Clinton here. So this is their book retelling their perception of the events of the 2016 election from the perspective of, you know, like Trump being the king, the literal king. This is so fucking cringe. I need you to understand there's nothing about this on the surface that looks bad to Republicans at all. This is in fact how they see the story. And then he even made a sequel, The Plot Against the King, 2,000 Mules. I'm guessing in reference to the Mueller report. You got Biden here, and this is the sequel they made, written by Kash Patel, art by James Scrawl, with a special message from Dinesh D'Souza. So yeah, these are children's books that the Republican administration are producing to brainwash literal children into seeing Trump as the king. Yeah, you got Sleepy Joe, of course. You got Sleepy Joe. Mueller. You know, this is all about training the kids not to take the Mueller report stuff seriously when they read about it in history class in the future. Anyway, let's read some bits in this book. Let's read it. You know, I will say the art is nice. I actually think the art is pretty nice. Obviously, they do that thing that Ben Garrison does where they make Trump like 100 pounds lighter and they give him like actual leanness where he does not have it. So he like doesn't look like they also took his spray tan away. Like, are we pretending like Trump isn't orange now? Like, we're gonna pretend like Trump does not lather himself in that like New York boomer orange spray tan? Because he does, and we all see it. We're not gonna pretend like this is his skin color now, okay? Like, the sanity washing isn't gonna go so far as to gaslight us into thinking Hillary was more orange than Donald, okay? Like, come on. We get that you gotta rewrite reality, but we can all see he's orange, right? Like, we all accept this is not what he looks like, I hope. Anyway. Overall, though, not this one, though. I think this one looks like shit. But this one, I think the art in this one looks really good. I like this art. I think it looks like an actual children's book. I think it's solid. I think the wizard staff looks pretty cool here, I guess. I'm pretty sure it comes from something, though. I'm pretty certain that's not an original design. But, yeah, also the staff looks different in this one. Why'd they change the staff design? Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these pages. Afterwards, Kash followed the shifty night outside. If you didn't have a reason to believe that King Donald was a cheater, why did you say all those nasty things about him to the heralds? We tried our best to find evidence, Keeper Comey even sent his slugs into the castle to spy on the king, but I don't care that we couldn't find anything, the shifty knight shifted. I just really don't like Donald. I guess Kash Patel's the wizard. Then the shifty knight ran straight to the heralds. Heralds, he said, go forth throughout the kingdom. I have a very good reason to believe that King Donald is a cheater. What is it? The heralds asked. I can't tell you. It's a secret, the shifty knight smiled. Ooh, said the heralds. They all love secrets. We'll tell everyone right away, and so they did. All of the people nodded when they heard. Quote, they must be right. After all, they have loud trumpets and an important secret. And so, everyone agreed that the shifty knight was telling the truth, even though they didn't have any reason to believe him. I love how this is just Trump. Like it's just telling the story of how Trump gains credibility, having the loudest trumpet. A recurring theme you'll see here in this is they constantly claim it was the left and those opposing Trump who had all the platform, all the power, all the voice, all the money, and that it was Trump, this underdog against the world. This is the narrative that Republicans and Trump supporters believe in their hearts is true to this day, even with the richest man in the world backing Trump, buying the biggest social media platform in the world and transforming it into a pro-Trump platform for a year before the election, or 2 years before the election, I should say. It's actually the Dems who did everything that Trump did, actually. In case you're wondering, what they're referring to here is having been the shifty knight trying to, like, go after Trump because they just don't like him. What they're referring to here, I believe, is the Mueller report, right? Like, they're talking about how, like, a bunch of Trump's actual cabinet were literally prosecuted and went to prison because they were found to be illegally working with the Russian government to help Trump get into power. The only thing that was not found was evidence that Trump himself knew of the plot that his cabinet, his campaign, and all of his closest confidants were running. There was just no evidence of his knowledge of what everyone around him was doing to get him elected. That is the scandal that they're claiming was just the shifty knight going after Donald because they didn't like the king. Look at how sad King Donald is. They don't like the king. Here's another page. Once upon a time, in the land of the free, there lived a wizard called Kash, the distinguished discoverer. Kash was known far and wide as the one person who could discover anything about anything. He wrote this book, by the way. He found the holy grape deep in the enchanted forest, and he discovered who had stolen the sleeping princess. I don't even know what to talk about there other than he wrote this, by the way. That's him writing about himself. And then I love this final, I think this is from the final page of the story where it's supposed to be, I think this is Kash Patel literally in the king's tower. Like having been elevated to best friends with the king is like the moral of the story. Like, be loyal to the king and you will be, if you're a yes man to the king, you will gain power. Like, literally the moral of the story is, as long as you support the king, then you're in the right because one day the king will carry favor to you. So here's the end of the book. Now that you know more of the facts, it's time for you to think carefully and decide what you think of the king. Don't just trust the person with the loudest trumpet. After, of course, learning the facts from someone who supports the quote-unquote king. Moral of the story, learn Russian. That's a good one. Moral of the story, learn Russian. Says the guy with the loudest trumpet. It really just is the I'm being censored. Hey guys, you know that one image where it's the guy saying I'm being censored and he's got like 1 million mics pointed at him? Guess what? If you search I'm being censored political cartoon, you can scroll for pages and you're not finding that fucking thing. When I say Google is getting worse and it's to serve the Republicans, whether intentionally or no, it is. It's not like a meme. It's not me being a boomer. It has been objectively proven that Google is making things impossible to find now. Man, that meme is now lost media. That's crazy. What a useful meme, too, to become lost media. Just described it, Wingo. Not wasting my breath to repeat myself. You can rewind the stream. That's crazy. That's actually crazy that that meme doesn't exist anymore online. That's actually crazy. Like, what? I'm being censored. Political cartoon guy with lots of microphones. Maybe if we get that specific, we can find it. You know what? Even though it still won't come up, and that meme is lost media forever now, we got a parody of it at least. Google knew what I was talking about enough that we could get this anti-meme post about it. The r/anti-meme of it exists. You can still find it in the form of an anti-version of itself, but Google has suppressed and deleted and will not show you any other form. Some people have found links to it, apparently. Yeah, here's a Bread Pains comic. Yeah, the left is cooked if we can't keep a simple Google search alive on Google anymore. Like, we're cooked, dude. We're losing the information war if we can't win Google. Like, if we're getting to the point now where you can't Google things to find info on the right, like, we just lose. Like, that we just completely lose once the internet stops working to find information. Like, we've fully lost the battle at that point. There's no point in even fighting at that juncture, and Google's getting to that point. Yeah. Genuinely scary stuff. The children are being brainwashed by state-sponsored books telling them to worship the King Trump, written by the future FBI director who's promised to go after Trump dissidents in the media. Google is slowly but surely destroying its ability to be of any use to someone who's actually seeking information, like real information, and on the left, that's what you're seeking, and so you're always at a disadvantage as Google gets worse, and the right is at an advantage as Google's algorithm starts to promote AI more and more, because so much conservative propaganda is AI generated. You guys know that, right? Like, Twitter is all AI generated. It's actually insane. Just go to the replies of Elon and look at all the, like, top replies, click on their accounts, you'll very quickly realize this isn't a real person. Look at all their followers, these aren't real people. Look at all their followers, these aren't real people. You'll go down that rabbit hole, trust. Like, a lot of the stuff is already AI-generated propaganda that people are falling for, so it's like, not only are the real people that are controlling this stuff making the like algorithms worse and doing what they can to brainwash, but like the AI has been given full carte blanche to just brainwash people and to dominate the internet. The dead internet theory is real, yeah. Dude, Kash Patel. Genuine name you guys are going to want to remember going into the next term, because this guy might be the one whose name is associated with all the arrests of those that criticize Trump. Hell, I might get arrested for criticizing Trump in Kash Patel's name. Kash Patel will be the reason. But hey, we'll see. We'll see whether or not you're allowed to criticize Trump in the coming 4 years, because according to the new FBI director, that's not going to be allowed. We'll see if the Constitution can protect us, though. We'll see. It would be really funny if Hassan got arrested, and even funnier if he got deported, actually. Yeah, that would be really funny. Even though I'm pretty sure he's, like, born in America, it would be really funny if Trump deported Hassan, especially because he's pro-Palestinian. And Trump has outright promised, if you're pro-Palestinian, you're getting deported. You guys know that, right? Like, it's part of the reason why I'm just like, you know what? Fuck the people who said Genocide Joe. Y'all let the guy get elected who has promised to deport not just Palestinians, but all of you people who are on the streets protesting in favor of the Palestinians. So enjoy wherever the fuck Trump deports you to. You should have voted. Wonder if they'll just arrest anyone who voted for Kamala? That would be half the country. That would be half the country. It would be pretty extreme. Yeah, I feel like we gotta find out in the coming years whether or not the Americans who voted for Trump consider his worst aspects, features, or flaws. That's a good way of putting it. Do they consider those things bugs or features of Donald Trump that they voted for him on? The term Genocide Joe is cringe nowadays. I really do think that, like, I want, like, a web crawler that can find out if anyone on the online left has ever said Genocide Joe. Unironically, you know? just so I can instantly know never to take them seriously. Yeah. Pretty much the best red flag you can use to figure out if someone is bad in the online left, I would say, is whether or not they were hypercritical of Joe Biden, I would say. And then Kamala Harris when she was obviously running against Trump as well. We'll have to find out. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like and a comment. Likes and comments, whether you're watching live or after the fact when this goes up as its own video, are one of the best ways to boost my content in the algorithm and help to maybe fight back against the insane information war the right has been waging against us, and the American people, for a matter of fact. Subscribe to the bell icon if you haven't already, so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload new videos in the channel. Follow my social medias linked down below, especially my Discord and my Blue Sky if you haven't already. And of course, if you haven't, and you want to and you feel like it, and you want to help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall Studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you all so much for watching, as always, and have a good one.